Hi, everybody. Welcome to the PokeBeach.com podcast. My name is John. I go by Water Pokemon Master on the website, and I am joined by a very busy
Justin Basil of JustinBasil.com. I can't even say my website's name correctly anymore because I'm so busy. That's pretty bad.
You're planning lesson plans for the new school year and all that as a teacher.
Lesson plans for the new school year. Yeah, they're due tomorrow morning, so I've got to get them all scrambled together.
And I'm getting ready to go to Worlds next week to do coverage of everything. So hopefully we'll be able to record the podcast right after the closing ceremonies on Sunday. But I guess it'll depend on your schedule. All right, let's jump into the news. There were two interesting there were two stories this week that were. I guess we have to start with the oldest one of the week, which is that this JD Vance one that started a lot of discussion in the comments turned into a big fiasco. But the headline is JD Vance tells his son, a Pokemon TCG fan, to shut the hell up about Pikachu. I thought this was so funny. All right, let's get into it. So in 2011, Herman Cain cited a Pokemon 2000 song during a Republican debate. In 2016, Hillary Clinton asked people to Pokemon Go to the polls during a campaign rally. And she was so proud of that when she came up with that pun on stage. She was like smiling. It was so stupid. And then now JD Vance has revealed he told his 7-year-old son, a Pokemon TCG fan, to shut the hell up about Pikachu when former President Trump called him last month to be his running mate. So he said on a conservative podcast, "My son, who is 7, is in the hotel room with me, and he is really into Pokemon cards right now. He's going through a Pokemon phase. So he's trying to talk to me about Pikachu, and I'm on the phone with Trump, and I'm like, son, shut the hell up for 30 seconds about Pikachu. This is the most important phone call of my life. Please just let me take this phone call." Vance added that because his son doesn't get what President of the United States means, he didn't care that Trump was on the phone. Vance and his wife have been married since 2014 and have 3 kids together. So, yeah, I thought this was a funny little quip. So I've covered Pokemon in politics and in just being mentioned in the media or in even TV shows over, the past 21 years since starting this website. And Pokemon's really been creeping into politics over the past couple of presidential debates. So this was interesting to me that he brought this up. What do you think about this?
I mean, ultimately, I doubt he actually said to shut the hell up. I think that's hyperbole. He's probably just frustrated that his kid was very excited about Pokemon while he's trying to take what was obviously a very important phone call to him. Yeah, I get it. I was the kid that needed to be told to shut up because I would not shut up about whatever it was I was interested in at the time.
Yeah, same.
I see my nephew now, who's just like I was when I was little, and he just has the mouth that just keeps running, verbal diarrhea, and it's a constant thing. And I know I was like that as a kid. I'm sure Vance's son's like the same. Look, we love it. He loves it. We can sympathize with Vance's kid, and we can understand maybe a little bit of Vance's frustration at the situation, a kid not understanding. If anything, it's a humanizing situation. It's just kind of amusing.
Yeah, I thought it was just a funny thing. Vance and Trump are very bombastic with the way they describe things. It's always heightened. It's always over the top. I think that's how they kind of get people perking up their ears at whatever they say. So I think he said this to just be a little hyperbolic about it. But, I think the point of it was just his son just loves Pokemon and was just, wouldn't stop talking about it. And he's taking this call where Trump's asking him to be, his VP running mate. So obvious, be quiet, I'm on the phone. So, I think the fun thing about this story was all the comments. This brought up a lot of, did you go through this thread?
I gave up on a few pages in because it was a spiral of idiocy as per usual with American politics. So I was very much done with it.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing is so I have, as I said, I've covered Pokemon mentions in politics and the media and the, whatever in popular culture over the past 21 years. And I've never seen a response this crazy to a news story like this. So I think it just really speaks to how divided we are and how we can't even talk about, the other side without people getting really worked up. And honestly, I think that it speaks to how my personal politics is that I think that there are some very powerful forces out there, rich, ultra rich people who want us to always be fighting and attacking each other. They want it to be like an us versus them sort of mentality. It's always Republicans versus Democrats and that sort of thing. But we're all supposed to be on the same side. At the end of the day, we all want to be happy. We want to be productive. We want to make a fair living. And it's just really sad that this is what our country has devolved to over the years. So, yeah, it's this was the most probably inane thing that I think J.D. Vance or Trump or anybody on the Republican side has said. It was just such an innocuous thing. And it's just a funny little story they told. But boy, the reactions to it were crazy. And this was also covered on so many larger, media websites like CNN and Fox and all those sort of news websites. So it made the rounds. I think I got to the news, I think after it had made all those sorts of rounds. And but anyway, it's just that's how our politics are these days. And it's just kind of sad that we can't have conversations anymore. Can't talk to people without it devolving, and this even happens with me and my own friends sometimes. I mean, I'm very much a liberal, but my best friend is a Christian conservative, and we get along fine, and we talk about issues all the time and talk very logically about them, and like I've said, I'm gay, but she doesn't hate that I'm gay or anything. And I don't hate that she's religious, and we get along just fine. But these days, it's so devolved that you can't even talk to people without without it devolving. Anyway, I guess that's my spiel. That's my spiel. But there were some pretty.
I don't think I have much else to add for this story. Honestly, it's just one of those situations where okay, kid, you're a super big fan of Pikachu. Why aren't you a fan of Gumshoes? That's ultimately what it's broken down to. And I'm just you know what? I'm over it. Let's move on.
Yeah. And then it's but some of the comments were pretty good in this thread. I think my favorite was somebody said the real crime here is that J.D. Vance didn't tell his kid to shut the hell up about Charizard. I thought that was the best.
Yeah. Here's the thing is they don't need to tell his kid to shut up about Charizard. They need to tell Pokemon Company International to shut the hell up about Charizard and creatures and literally every subdivision of Pokemon Company. Cause man, it's oh, where do we want to make a bunch of money on this year? Charizard. Yeah, okay, chill. Well, please stop.
They know what sells. They have to. It's always what is it? It's there's always Charizard's always in our third set of the new generation. Is that what it is? We had
so far last what 3 generations at least.
Burning Shadows, something else.
Darkness Ablaze,
Obsidian Flames. Yeah. So we're gonna probably get it again whenever the next generation comes out. Speaking of, our next news story has to do with Pokemon ZA and how the TCG schedule may be hinting at a later release than initially thought. So I spent a lot of time writing this news story because I wanted to find out what the TCG schedule was saying about the ZA release schedule, if anything. And so I wrote this story mainly for myself. And, I'm just putting the evidence together, but people are free to come up with their own conclusions based off this evidence. I wasn't trying to say either way that this is factual. It's, of course, all speculation. But after I posted this, and I must have revised it 110 times, I think is what WordPress said. After I posted this, I did find a hole in some of the logic I had. And I'm curious if you will catch it as I'm going through this article. So let me know if you catch something that might be contradictory to the headline here, because I haven't seen one person on any website that was any social thread on any website that brought it up. So so let's see which you say here. So let's go through the whole thing. So Japan's Pokemon TCG sets have always released around the same time as new Pokemon games. This is because they market each other. Sword and Shield released on November 15th, 2019 for the Switch. 2 weeks later, the Sword and Shield sets hit store shelves in Japan. They introduced Pokemon V to the trading card game with VMAX cards referencing Dynamax Pokemon. So, pretty quickly, we got our TCG sets after Sword and Shield, and they very quickly introduced the big new mechanic of that game, which was Dynamax and Gigantamax. So off the bat, we immediately got the card game promoting that. Granted, that was a new generation. So here is a more analogous case, which is Legends Arceus, which would be more analogous to Legends EA. Starbirth featuring Arceus V-Star released on January 14th, 2022 as the first set of the year. 2 weeks later, we got Legends Arceus for the Switch, a rare case of the set coming before the game. Starbirth introduced Pokemon V-Star to the trading card game. Pokemon V-Star were loosely inspired by the frenzied Pokemon in the game that were blessed by Arceus' power. The mechanic lasted until V-Star Universe in December, a year. So basically, this set was the first to advertise Legends Arceus. It introduced the V-Star mechanic, which was inspired by the games. And the mechanic lasted for a year, which... Correct me if I'm wrong. Most mechanics at least last around a year, right? Like, how long
last a year.
Yeah. So, okay. So,
I think I would. I know I did interrupt you, but I think I would argue that Brilliant Stars / Starbirth was not actually advertising. I don't think it was advertising Legends Arceus. It was very much advertising the Diamond and Pearl remakes. Now, it happened to share the mechanic that was brought into the TCG effectively by Pokemon Legends Arceus. But it was still very much a set for the Diamond and Pearl remakes. Yeah,
so I would say after reading about it, thinking about it more, I would say that it was more of a blend. I think it was both for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and also for Legends Arceus, specifically because it features the star Pokemon from those games, not like Dialga and Palkia, like if it were Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. It features the star Pokemon from Legends Arceus, being Arceus, and it is the V-Star mechanic that was inspired by the frenzied Pokemon. So I would say I agree, but I would say after
it literally
thinking about
only
it,
features Arceus, though, which is also a Pokemon in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Yes, it shares the V-Star mechanic, but of course it's going to share that because they have to introduce it at the beginning of the block.
Right.
Like, I don't.
What I'm saying, though, is that if it had been a Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl set, there's no reason that they would have had to delay that because, first of all, it's not introducing anything that the card game has to, like, for example, if the artists are getting new assets and they have to keep it a secret, thus pushing the set past the game release. They didn't have to do that for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. They could have very easily released a Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl set back in, when did it come out? Like November, the previous year. So I would think if it were a Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl set, it would have it would have featured like Dialga and Palkia and
I don't think so. I think the only thing that it took from the Legends games was the V-Star mechanic. Everything else is very much Diamond.
Well, that's what I'm saying. After writing this and thinking about it, I was more of thinking it was a blend. But again, this is all a discussion. It's up to interpretation. So that's the beauty of speculation and our interpretation as fans of whatever whatever they were thinking at the time. So you may be right, or it could be a blend, or who knows?
It's like the new mechanic too that the actual Legends Arceus games brought to the TCG were Radiant Pokemon, and that was Astral Radiance. That's when we actually had the influx of stuff from Legends Arceus.
So in the next paragraph, I say, the following sets, Time Gazer and Space Juggler, featured the first Pokemon, humans, and settings from the game. They released on April 8th, 2022. So this is when we got like, the stuff, the obviously heavily, the heavy mechanic, the heavy assets from the game in the card game was in April, so bookmark that for a bit, because that might be this might introduce the logical error that I'm going to get to. So Scarlet and Violet hit the Switch on November 18th, 2022. Scarlet EX and Violet EX released 2 months later on January 20th as the first sets of the year. They introduced Pokemon EX to the card game, with Terra Pokemon EX representing terrestrialized Pokemon. So in this case, it came quite a bit later, 2 months. So for most Pokemon games, the TCG set is always within 2 months of the video game it's based on. They also introduced new mechanics that are at least loosely inspired by the games. So we were talking about how most mechanics last a year. So with all of this in mind, what can we glean from the upcoming TCG schedule about Legends EA? We only know the games will release in 2025, take place in Lumio City, and will feature the return of Mega Evolutions. So we know Battle Partners will release in Japan on January 24th. It's the first set of 2025, which usually introduces the year's new mechanic. The official sell sheet tells us it'll feature characters like Iono and Lily. None of these characters are associated with Kalos as we know it. The name of the set also makes no obvious reference to Kalos as we know it. So far, this isn't indicating a Legends ZA tie-in set. On February 21st, 2 pre-constructed decks will release named Starter Set EX, Stevens Beldam and Metagross EX, and Marnie's Morpeko and Grimmsnarl EX. Again, none of these characters are associated with Kalos as we know it. The existence of these decks also implies the TCG will be reintroducing Owner's Pokemon in Battle Partners. So that would be presumably the new mechanic of the year. So we also know from trademark listings that a set called The Glory of Team Rocket is in the works. The soonest this set can release is March, just based off what's been revealed so far. We don't know anything about the set, but presumably it will see the return of Rocket's Pokemon, which we had already sort of thought before any of this, before these releases had been revealed. So it seems pretty likely that it will feature Rocket's Pokemon with this whole owner's mechanic thing presumably returning. So these 2025 releases hint the TCG will be focusing on Owner's Pokemon. While we don't know much about ZA, it doesn't seem like the mechanic relates to Kalos in a significant way. Not like VMAX for Galar, V-Star for Hisui, or Terra EX for Paldea. Rather, it's as if the TCG is stalling for 2025, reviving a beloved mechanic, Owner's Pokemon, only because there isn't any new video game content to work with. Using a variety of popular humans from different games, including Team Rocket, also indicates this. The TCG features new mechanics for a handful of sets, so we talked about like usually a year. This means the Owner's Pokemon mechanic won't be dropped quickly. A defining feature of ZA will presumably be its Mega Evolutions. There's no doubt the TCG will market this as it's done in the past, especially if there's new ones. So you can see here we got Mega Evolutions tie-ins whenever they appeared in the card game or in the video games. So therefore, it seems the TCG is hinting a Legends ZA set won't come until at least April. But the TCG will likely feature the owner's mechanic for a few sets beyond Rocket, or even longer, implying a later 2025 release for the game, Legends ZA. So, and then of course, all of this is speculation and linear thinking based on current precedent. It can't account for any curveballs. We should get a better idea of 2025 release schedule during closing ceremonies of Worlds this year, which will be this coming week, or this coming Sunday, a week from today. I'll be at the event to cover any news. We're expecting Owner's Pokemon to be revealed for the card game. So I would say, so after I wrote this, what you were speaking to earlier is the whole, because if we do get, so with Legends Arceus, if we say that the first real set was Time Gazer and Space Juggler, those came out in April, and we know the soonest the Rocket set could come out is March. So if, depending on what our definitions are, that could still mean we get ZA in January. But I think the arguments kind of against, well, actually, so let me ask you first what you think, and then I'll tell you what my arguments are against that. Or do you want me to just...
I still think that ZA is going to be later in the year. I don't think it's the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I think it's summer at the earliest.
I think it could be maybe April or May or something. But the reason that I still... So even though there is this bit of a logical hole in what I said, if depending on what your definition of what the Legends Arceus first set was, I'd say that I'd still lean towards ZA being later than Legends Arceus was, because of this whole owner's mechanic being introduced in January. Now, granted, so like, first of all, again, owner's Pokemon doesn't seem to have anything to do with Legends ZA. Obviously, Legends ZA would be getting Mega Evolutions in the card game, and that would be what the card game markets. But we're not seeing that in the first few months of 2025 in the card game. So that's one reason why it feels like it's just, we're not going to get Legends ZA as early as we did Arceus. And then also, like, you could argue, well, maybe they're going to, maybe the way where they would do this is they're going to morph the owner's mechanic into including Mega Evolutions. Like, maybe it'll be so-and-so's, Mega Absol EX or something like that. But I still feel like they would use Mega Evolutions more of its own thing and would probably make it more of a big deal than kind of grouping it in with owner's Pokemon. So that's just my thinking. Again, all of this is up to interpretation and your definitions of things and whatever. But my gut feeling is that the TCG is indicating that ZA is going to be a little later.
Yeah, and I said as much about this at NAIC when we were at Butcher. So, I mean, to me, this isn't anything new. Well,
but now we have more of the we have more dates to we can kind of predict what the card game is doing, what Creatures is doing, but now we have more information since then with the these releases and these
the dots
dates.
are just still connecting. It's like, to me, it's not a surprise. The dots are continuing to connect.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, like, maybe they will surprise us. Maybe Game Freak in the Pokemon Company will, I don't know. Again, this can't account for any curveballs.
Watch them absolutely throw us for a loop on Sunday.
Watch them say...
And be completely thrown off.
Yeah. They'll say, ZA coming in December or something.
Yeah.
No, that would be way
It would
too
never be
early.
December.
No.
It would be November at the best. And that would be December too late for it. But
sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah. But they wouldn't...
But I don't see that happening.
No, because they would... Usually the games, they market them much earlier than that. We'll get trailers and stuff. So we're past the point of just, again, this is all going off precedent. But we would have gotten a trailer... a video game trailer a while ago if it had been coming out at the end of this year. So
yeah, we've seen a sneak peek during Pokemon Day.
Yeah,
and that's it.
And
there's no way it's coming out this year. I'm sorry, it's just not happening.
And it's funny too, because when they did show that that sort of CG conceptual trailer during Pokemon Day last year, I was like, wait, so are we going to get ZA shown twice in both 2024 and 2025's Pokemon Day? Because, like, they would have announced because the fact that they didn't know when it was coming out in 2025 and they just said, oh, it's coming out the following year. Like, I thought that was really strange that it was that they were showing it off on Pokemon Day. And it was like, because they
can still tease stuff this year. They don't necessarily have to give us a full trailer or gameplay at all, but it allows them to tease stuff like a new Pokemon. Like, they could be like, look at this new Pokemon coming out in ZA that's going to be an anime. They can still tease stuff.
Well, what I'm saying is that I just felt that when they showed that ZA was coming out on that there was going to be a ZA game and they announced it in February 2024 for Pokemon Day, I thought that was strangely early for them to, because it's for the following year. So it's like, are we
It is early.
gonna get ZA like on 2 different Pokemon days for 2 different years, like where they're gonna be talking about it? Like that's weird. But that also speaks to how we've been talking about how it seems like they are taking more time now to work on the video games. They're letting them breathe a little more. So maybe we're going back to like the Diamond. You know how I've mentioned before how long it took to get Diamond and Pearl. It felt like it took like 4 years for that to come out. They had like Munchlax in the Deoxys movie, a Diamond, so early. So maybe they're finally going to let the games breathe more, and the card game, as this story talks about, is sort of
We can hope.
indicating that. So we'll see. We'll find out. Closing ceremony should be 5:00 on or 5:00 California time this coming Sunday, which will be I believe 2:00 Hawaii time. So I will for sure be sitting there posting the news, and then probably run back to the hotel room, and hopefully we can do a podcast episode talking about the whatever they announced for the card game and maybe ZA or whatever. And then also at Worlds, we're going to have Pokemon TCG Pocket demos available starting Friday at 8 a.m. So I'll be lining up for that to post a report about that. So there's going to be a lot of coverage I didn't get a press patch to Worlds, but I'll be there covering it like press as much as I can. So we'll look forward to my coverage because that's why I'm going. So yeah, so let us know what you think, what this is all saying about Legends ZA and the whole, Starbirth and time juggler space. What was it? Time gazer, space juggler.
Yeah.
And the whole Legends Arceus timeline. Anyway. All right. Next story of the week is that we are getting a Terapagos EX Ultra Premium collection in November. I had posted about this a few weeks ago, and we speculated. I don't remember what we speculated, but Terapagos EX was one of the theories of what it would feature. So we know that we're getting one full art card cut from Stellar Crown, as we mentioned a few weeks ago. We thought it might be Terapagos, and looks like that's what's going to happen. This one will probably be cut in favor of this Ultra Premium collection. But so the description for this collection says that it's going to feature Terapagos EX, and it'll also be joined by 2 more ready-to-play Stellar Terra Pokemon EX. So I kind of think that would be Sylveon and Armarouge?
I don't think so. I could maybe see Ceruledge. I don't think so on Sylveon. They would market Sylveon for its
Separately?
own product.
Yeah, that could be
Sylveon,
it.
frankly, would sell better than Terapagos ever could hope to. So I just don't see it.
And we know also that the Evolution set is coming up, which would probably have another Sylveon in it, in Japan at least. So they might have Sylveon
Well, they could do what they did with Evolving Skies, where half the evolutions are coming in from their random products and the other half are actually in the set.
Yeah, so we'll see. But so I think this will also be revealed next week during Worlds, or not at Worlds, but it'll be revealed on Thursday, I think. So I will have to get up, I think, at 3:30 in the morning Hawaii time to post it, because it'll come out, I think, at like 6 in the morning.
The product reveal?
Yeah, the full reveal, like on the Pokemon Center website. They'll presumably show off the promos, and if they don't, then we would know for sure it's not going to be Sylveon and Ceruledge, because those have already been revealed in Japan. All of these have been revealed in Japan. So if they hide the promos, then we're going to know, okay, it's something else. But if not, then we'll see what they are. So
we'll see.
I talked about a few weeks ago. It'll come out on November 1st. Feature 18 packs, 3 promo cards, 8 foil cracked ice Terastal basic energy. Sorry, foil energy. Playmat deck box. The One Touch Ultra Pro protector to hold 3 cards, coins, and all the other usual stuff, as you can see here. So I thought this was kind of a missed opportunity. Oh, are those? I was like, I kind of thought these should be those, not the square dice. The what are those, like the ones that are more like star shaped, that have the more, not a hexagon, hexagonal. You know what I'm talking about? Those dice that they use for like Dungeons and Dragons and things.
You're talking about like D4s, D8s, D12s, D20s and stuff?
Yeah, I thought it would have been cool to do like a more sparkly dice to represent the, Terapagos and the crystal effect rather than a square. But I think those are square, right?
Yeah, they're squares.
Yeah.
They're slightly rounded like the regular dice.
Yeah. All right. Next news story is more Worlds 2024 merchandise has been revealed. You can see here the playmat. Here are some pins. I'm definitely getting this one with the Pikachu. They're also releasing a commemorative coin featuring this artwork of Pikachu right here. Double deck box. Then we have a lanyard, the pins again, double deck boxes. Here's a beach towel that'll be coming out. A bucket hat featuring Pikachu and Oricorio. Lowland Executor t-shirt. And I believe this will also be coming out as a play mat. Everybody gets a free beach ball with any purchase at the Pokemon Center in Hawaii. So you'll get that blow-up beach ball. And then these products we previously posted, so those will also be available. And yeah, you have to make a reservation to enter the Pokemon Center, so be sure you do that. You do not need a Worlds badge to get in. I will be going Thursday, I believe at like around 5 o'clock, so that'll be a few hours after it opens, but I'll try to take pictures of the merchandise and make a post of all the merchandise that's available so people can see that. I think, like we've talked about before, I'm like so over having Pokemon stuff because I already have so much of it over the past how many years, been here since day one, so have lots of it. I think the only thing I'm going to get is like this pin and the beach towel maybe a t-shirt or hat. I don't know. What would you want to get?
Honestly, none of it.
None of it.
maybe the commemorative coin. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, let me know. I'll get it. I'll pick it up for you.
I mean, you shopped with me at NAIC. You know how much I actually bought.
I didn't buy anything. We went together. I was like, I don't want any of this.
I literally bought a shirt, and that was it.
I was like, I don't want any of this because, like, again, for me, I'm so over having stuff in life. Just I'm over stuff, but also like when they're dated to like a time and a place, I don't like that because it doesn't feel as timeless to me. It feels like locked to an event, and I don't really like that. So, but I think like this little pin would be cool. It's not going to take up a lot of space. Is this by James Turner, this artwork?
Kind of does look like it.
Yeah, it looks like more. He did that other Pokemon Center line earlier this few months ago. But yeah. All right. Oh, you're going to love this. There's going to be a new...
Oh, no. Actually, you know what? I'll take the playmat from before. Let's not do this one.
Huh?
I would much rather have the playmat from before. We can skip this.
Oh, the Abra? So there's going to be a new Ultra Pro...
I was talking about the world's merchandise, but that's fine.
Oh, you're saying you want the playmat?
It's a joke. I'm basically saying, because earlier I was saying I didn't want anything. It's like, no, I'll take the other playmat. I don't want this. Go away.
Oh, I see. So Ultra Pro is going to be releasing a new Porygon Evolution Stitched playmat on February 27th to celebrate Pokemon Day. It should cost $22.99 like the previous Abra Evolution Stitch playmat. And yeah. This is what it looks like.
So wait, this is coming out next year?
Yeah.
And we know about it this far in advance.
Yeah, they announced it themselves. It'll be coming out. They sent out the pre-orders. It'll be to celebrate Pokemon Day. But I did note in the story that I don't think this product has anything to do with Pokemon Day because Pokemon wouldn't be using a third-party company to, hint at anything. So I think they're just, I don't know. But
Here's
the design. No, what?
6 months in advance to know about a product nobody cares about? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. But I loved the Abra one. I thought that was really cool looking.
Yeah,
as
look.
you can see
Hey,
here.
Ultra Bro, reminder, you can do cool things. You can try. That's a thing you can do.
And then they just did like a circuit board sort of thing, which is
At least it's not a beach.
it's just weird because I mean, circuit boards are more like electric Pokemon, and I guess
No,
it
it's
is artificial,
digital
but
Pokemon.
But it's not a robot. I don't know.
No, but it's a digital Pokemon. It's a computer creation, right?
So it's like so you're saying it's a computer circuit board, computer chip. Okay, I can.
Yeah.
Whoops. I just lost the window. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
It exists. Woohoo.
Yeah. So next news story, McDonald's 2024 Pokemon TCG promotion is coming in the fall, but later than usual? Question mark. Start saving your calories. McDonald's in France will hold their annual promotion from December 4th to January 21st, 2025. France always gets their McDonald's set a month or two after the US. If this pattern holds, we could see it in the US in October or November. The last time it was held that late was in 2019, 5 years ago, because it's usually held in August or September. Should get more details in the next month or two. Yeah, so we know it's coming. It's been coming every year since 2011. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's always reprints of stuff that we've seen. It's usually commons and uncommons. They get the confetti hollow foil.
Yeah.
It's cool. Sometimes it's the highest rarity for certain cards. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
I did not like the 2022 set. I didn't really like the Pokemon selection.
The selection?
No, it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, we got Beware at least.
So I hope they do something cooler. But this was the best set. Obviously, was the 2021 when we had the starter Pokemon and everything. That was so fun to collect, and like everybody was rushing to McDonald's, and it was very a festive time.
Yeah, everybody's celebrating 25 years.
And I collected all of them in hollow and non-hollow. That was fun. I liked that one. But yeah, I hope they pick better Pokemon because yeah, I did not like getting a Gossifleur hollow in my McDonald's pack. Thought it was.
But Rowlet's okay.
Yeah, Rowlet's cool. Next news story. Oh, Prize Pack Series 5. Prize Pack Series 5. We have the full set list. I'd originally posted this was going to feature cards from 151, which was going to be a headache for master set collectors, but it's only 2 cards, as we've now found out. It's only going to be Mew EX and Dodrio. So, crisis averted for those of you who have master binders. And it'll also come with a Hollow Earthen Vessel. And what are the cards are you excited about that this will have?
Buddy Poffin's also really big.
Yeah.
Prime, most of the aspects like Prime Catcher especially. There's some good stuff in this for sure.
Feels like they thought this one out a lot more. Stuff.
I mean, there's some junk in there too. Like Atticus does not belong in here. I'm sorry, but like for the most part, it's pretty decent.
Yeah. So this will be coming out starting August 14th at your local Pokemon League. Again, it'll feature new cards from 151, Paradox Rift, and Temporal Forces. And again, they will feature Cosmos Holofoil, which is everybody's favorite. So, yeah, let's go to your Pokemon League and collect. Okay, we have a new Tyranitar EX Premium Collection releasing this month. It hasn't been listed by distributors, so presumably it'll be a store-exclusive product like at Target or Walmart. We'll find out soon, but it's basically just...
Watch it be a Black Friday product.
Well, it's coming out August 30th. When's Black Friday?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, but it'll come with Cosmos Hollow, Larvitar, Pupitar, Tyranitar EX, and then 6 booster packs, another card protector with a display base, and then these Tyranitar.
The sleeves are nice.
Tyranitar card sleeves.
I know the quality will be garbage, but the sleeve art is nice.
Yeah. So we'll find out more information hopefully soon because this is coming out apparently in
end of the month,
2-3 weeks. So
yeah.
All right, and then was that it for the week? Oh,
I think that's everything.
Oh, that was quick. Cool.
It's kind of a fairly light week, honestly.
It didn't feel light. It didn't feel light to me. I felt like I was posting something every day. Or maybe this JD Vance story is why I didn't feel light. There's so many comments for it. Oh, and then the ZA was making the rounds on social media, so I was reading what people were saying. Again, I didn't see anybody really point out that hole that we talked about. I think somebody did in the comments of our website, but I didn't really see anyone else say it anywhere else. So, but yeah, I realized it after I posted it that anyway. All right. So I will be at Worlds this coming week, covering any and all news. And then hopefully I'll have some time to go do some stuff in Hawaii because I've never actually been there. So look forward to my coverage. And
if you made it this far into the podcast, comment Porygon did nothing wrong.
I love that. Yeah, that tweet they posted got deleted. The Pokemon had posted that one year, and they had to delete their own tweet. I don't know if corporate got mad at them for bringing up
Corporate
Porygon.
got mad, I guarantee it.
Yeah, maybe corporate got mad because Porygon's banned
Surely
in
corporate.
the anime or whatever.
Yeah, because Porygon got blamed for what Pikachu did. Banned Pikachu instead.
In the episode, Pikachu was blowing up these digital rockets, and they were flashing red and blue, and that's what caused some of the kids to have the seizures, and it had nothing to do with Porygon. But they weren't going to blame their mascot for that; they were going to blame Porygon. So, and then we also, fun fact: the Pikachu's Goodbye episode was never on the original schedule in Japan. They created that episode after the Porygon incident as kind of a way to show, like, to have kids have, would be like, oh, if this is what would happen if Pikachu actually left the show. Like, you don't want that. You don't want our mascot leaving. So the whole reason we got that episode was because of the Porygon incident. So, fun fact. All right. We will...
Crazy.
Yeah, we will see you all next week. I will be at Worlds doing my coverage, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and hopefully we will do the next episode right after closing ceremonies next week. Run to my hotel room. I think it's like a 20-minute walk. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. All right.
Yep.
Y'all have a good week, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.